You're walking past the same boring sedan in every parking lot, thinking there's nothing special about affordable cars anymore. But what if I told you there are hidden gems sitting on used car lots right now, completely ignored by everyone else, that could give you incredible performance, rock-solid reliability, and even future collector value for pocket change? Stay with me, because today, we are counting down 14 cars that will give you that reliability while protecting your pocket. 14. Lexus IS-250. The Lexus IS-250 is one of those cars that gets zero respect in the enthusiast community, and that's exactly why it's such a jackpot right now. Everyone's out there chasing BMW 3 Series and Audi A4s, paying premium prices for cars that'll drain their wallets with constant repairs. Meanwhile, the IS-250 sits there. This car came out in 2006 and people immediately started complaining about the engine. Yes, the 2.5-liter V6 only makes 204 horsepower, which doesn't sound exciting on paper. But here's what nobody talks about. This engine is bulletproof. We're talking about a Lexus, which means Toyota engineering at its finest. According to J.D. Power reliability studies, Lexus consistently ranks at the top for dependability, and the IS-250 is no exception. These cars regularly hit 200,000 miles without breaking a sweat. The interior quality is where this car really shines. Sit inside an IS-250 and then sit inside a comparable BMW from the same era. The seats are comfortable for long drives, the controls are intuitive, and everything just works. The build quality is exceptional, with tight panel gaps and materials that don't rattle or squeak even after 15 years. You can find clean IS-250s for under $8,000 right now. The manual transmission models are especially undervalued. Everyone wants automatics these days, so the 6-speed manual cars sit on lots longer, which means better deals for you. Insurance is reasonable, parts are available, and any mechanic can work on it. 13. Nissan 350Z. Now let's talk about a real sports car that's become surprisingly affordable. The Nissan 350Z was the car that brought excitement back to the Z lineup after the 300ZX became too expensive and complicated. When it launched in 2003, it was a revelation. A proper rear-wheel drive sports car with a powerful V6 engine, sharp handling, and styling that made people stop and stare. The VQ35DE engine is a masterpiece. This 3.5-liter V6 produces between 287 and 306 horsepower depending on the year, and it sounds incredible. That raspy exhaust note is unmistakable, and it's one of the best-sounding V6 engines ever made. More importantly, this engine is known for reliability. The VQ series has been used in everything from Nissan sedans to Infiniti luxury cars, and they've proven themselves over millions of miles. People sleep on the 350Z because they think it's a tuner car that's been beaten to death. Sure, some examples have been modified poorly or driven hard, but clean ones still exist. A well-maintained 350Z with service records is a fantastic buy right now. You're looking at around $8,000 to $12,000 for a good example, which is absurd value for a genuine sports car. Insurance companies classify it as a sports car, so premiums can be higher for younger drivers. But if you're over 25 with a clean record, it's manageable. 12. Subaru WRX. The Subaru WRX is legendary in car culture. We're talking about the 2002 to 2007 models, the ones that brought rally-bred performance to American streets. These cars dominated motorsports, built a cult following, and proved that all-wheel drive performance could be affordable. The turbocharged 2-liter or 2.5-liter engines produce between 227 and 300 horsepower depending on the model and year. That might not sound like supercar territory, but remember, this is a lightweight car with all-wheel drive, so the acceleration is explosive, especially from a dig. The symmetrical all-wheel drive system is one of the best in the business, giving you confidence in any weather condition. According to Consumer Reports, Subaru's all-wheel drive system is among the most capable for everyday driving conditions. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, many WRXs have been modified or driven hard. Yes, some have engine problems, especially the 2006 to 2014 models with the EJ255 engine that can develop head gasket issues. But if you find a stock or lightly modified example with proper maintenance records, you're golden. The key is being selective and patient during your search. You can find older WRXs for $8,000 to $15,000 depending on condition and mileage. The wagon models are especially undervalued right now because everyone wants the sedan. 11. Acura Integra. We're focusing on the 1994 to 2001 third-generation models here, the ones that defined an era of affordable Japanese performance. Honda's engineering excellence shines through in every aspect of this car. The engine, whether it's the base 1.8-liter or the legendary GSR, is a masterpiece of smooth revving, high RPM joy. The VTEC system was revolutionary, giving you economy around town and thrilling performance when you wound it out. The manual transmission is one of the best ever made, with short throws and precise engagement that makes every shift feel special. You might pay $5,000 to $12,000 for a good one, and that's money well spent for a car that's this fun to drive. 10. Honda Accord. The Honda Accord might seem boring at first glance, but hear me out. We're specifically talking about the 1998 to 2002 6th generation models and the 2003 to 2007 7th generation models, particularly the V6 versions. These cars offer an incredible combination of reliability, performance, and value that people completely overlook because they're seen as just another family sedan. The V6 Accords from this era are seriously quick. The 3-liter V6 in the 6th gen makes 200 horsepower, while the 3-liter in the 7th gen bumps that to 240 horsepower. That's legitimate performance, especially when you consider these cars way less than modern Accords. The manual transmission models are particularly fun, giving you proper engagement and control. Honda reliability is legendary for good reason. According to a study by IC Cars analyzing vehicles most likely to reach 200,000 miles, Honda models consistently rank at the top. The Accord is built to last, with engines that run forever if you just change the oil regularly. Transmissions are strong, especially the manual versions. The suspension components are durable. Everything is engineered to endure. You can find these Accords for incredibly low prices now, often under $5,000 for decent examples. 9. Honda Civic Si. The 7th generation Si from 2002 to 2005 and the 8th generation from 2006 to 2011 are both incredible values right now, offering enthusiast-focused engineering at prices that make you wonder what everyone else is thinking. The 7th Gen C came with a 2-liter iVTEC engine, making 160 horsepower. That doesn't sound impressive until you drive one. The engine revs to 8,000 RPM with a soundtrack that gives you chills, and the 6-speed manual transmission is perfection, with the shortest throws and most precise engagement you'll find anywhere. The chassis is so well tuned that the car feels alive under you, communicating every nuance of the road surface. The 8th Gen Si stepped things up with a 2-liter K20Z3 engine, making 197 horsepower. It also introduced the aggressive styling that made people either love it or hate it, but there's no denying the performance. These cars fly under the radar because people think they're just Civics. But the Si is so much more than a basic Civic with a badge. The suspension is sport-tuned, the steering is quicker, the brakes are larger, and everything is calibrated for driving enthusiasts. Clean examples sell for $6,000 to $12,000, depending on generation, mileage, and condition. That's remarkable value for a car that delivers this much driving joy. 8. Mazda Speed 3. The Mazda Speed 3 is criminally undervalued right now, and it's one of the best performance bargains in the used car market. Mazda took their already excellent Mazda 3 platform and turbocharged it, creating a 263 horsepower hot hatch that could embarrass cars costing twice as much. We're talking about the 2007 to 2013 models here, cars that delivered genuine thrills without the premium price tag. The chassis tuning is where Mazda really showed their expertise. Despite being front-wheel drive with significant power, the Mazda Speed 3 handles beautifully. The suspension strikes a great balance between comfort and sportiness. Inside, you get supportive sport seats, decent materials for the era, and a practical hatchback layout that makes this car genuinely useful for daily life. The back seats actually have reasonable space. The fuel economy isn't terrible for a performance car, averaging around 25 miles per gallon in mixed driving. These cars sell for $8,000 to $15,000 right now, which is incredible value. 7. Subaru Outback. The Subaru Outback might seem like a strange inclusion on a list about jackpot cars, but stay with me. We're talking about the 2nd and 3rd generation models from 2000 to 2009, particularly the ones with the H6 engine. The Outback is essentially a lifted wagon with all-wheel drive, giving you SUV capability without the poor fuel economy and handling compromises. The ground clearance is impressive, the symmetrical all-wheel drive system is incredibly capable, and the overall package is perfect for people who actually use their vehicles for adventures rather than just commuting to Starbucks. The H6 engine is the secret weapon here. The 3-liter flat-six produces around 250 horsepower and is smooth, reliable, and doesn't suffer from the head gasket issues that plagued some 4-cylinder Subarus. You can find these Outbacks for $4,000 to $10,000 $15,000, depending on mileage and condition. The reliability record is strong, especially if you avoid the four-cylinder models with head gasket problems. Regular maintenance keeps these cars running for hundreds of thousands of miles, and parts are affordable and available. 6. Ford Mustang. The Ford Mustang is America's sports car, and certain generations offer incredible value right now. We're specifically looking at the 2005 to 2009 S197 generation, the cars that brought retro styling back to the Mustang name. These vehicles deliver V8 power, rear-wheel drive excitement, and iconic American muscle car appeal for surprisingly little money. The GT models came with a 4.6-liter V8 making 300 horsepower from 2005 to 2009, which Ford bumped to 315 horsepower in 2010. The exhaust note is pure American Fi-8 thunder, rumbling and growling in a way that turbocharged engines can never match. The styling still looks good today. Ford nailed the retro modern design, incorporating classic Mustang cues while keeping the car contemporary. The long hood, short deck proportions scream muscle car. The interior got better as the generation progressed, with the 2009 refresh bringing significant improvements in materials and design quality. These Mustangs sell for $8,000 to $15,000 right now, which is absurd for V8 performance. Yes, the interior quality isn't luxury car level, and yes, the live rear axle can be tricky in the rain, but that's part of the muscle car experience. 5. Honda CR-V. The Honda CR-V is the sensible choice that people dismiss because it seems boring, but that's a mistake. The second and third generation models from 2002 to 2011 offer exceptional reliability, surprising capability, and practical design at prices that make them genuine bargains. Honda's engineering excellence shines through in every aspect of the CR-V. The engine, whether the 2.4-liter four-cylinder in the second gen or the slightly more powerful version in the third gen, is smooth, efficient, and built to last. These engines regularly exceed 200,000 miles without major issues. The automatic transmissions are reliable. The all-wheel drive system is simple and effective. The interior design is brilliant in its practicality. The cargo space is impressive for the vehicle's size. The rear seats fold flat with one motion, creating a large loading area. The materials are durable rather than luxurious, built to withstand family use and abuse. Everything is logically laid out and easy to use. Honda focused on making a vehicle that works well every day, rather than impressing you once with fancy features. You can find these CR-Vs for $6,000 to $14,000, depending on generation, mileage, and condition. The fuel economy is excellent, averaging 24 to 28 miles per gallon in mixed driving. Insurance is affordable. Maintenance costs are low because Honda parts are reasonably priced, and the vehicles don't require expensive repairs. 4. Infiniti EX35. The Infiniti EX35 is one of the most overlooked luxury crossovers in the used market, and that's creating tremendous value for smart buyers. This 2008 to 2012 model was essentially a lifted G35 sedan, which means you got sports car dynamics in a practical crossover package with luxury car amenities. The combination is rare and valuable. The 3.5-liter V6 produces 297 horsepower, which is more than most crossovers need but exactly right for spirited driving. This engine is from Nissan's excellent VQ series, known for reliability and smooth power delivery. The acceleration is strong, the exhaust note is pleasing, and the overall performance feels more like a sports sedan than a family hauler. The handling is where the EX35 really shines. The chassis tuning prioritizes driving dynamics over maximum comfort, giving you crisp turn-in, minimal body roll, and genuine feedback through the steering wheel. This is a crossover you can enjoy on a winding road, which is rare in this segment. The all-wheel drive system provides confidence in poor weather without dulling the driving experience. Inside, you're surrounded by Infiniti luxury. The materials are high quality, the seats are comfortable and supportive, and the build quality is excellent. The technology is dated by today's standards, but everything still works perfectly. The infotainment system is straightforward, the climate control is effective, and the Bose audio system sounds great. You can find EX35s for $8,000 to $15,000, which is remarkable for a luxury crossover with this much performance and quality. 3. Jeep Wrangler. The Jeep Wrangler is the only vehicle mentioned here that actually appreciates in value over time, but older examples can still be found at reasonable prices if you're patient and selective. We're talking about the TJ generation from 1997 to 2006, the last Wranglers with the classic round headlights and simpler construction. These vehicles represent pure off-road capability with a dedicated following. The TJ came with either a 2.5-liter four-cylinder or a 4-liter inline-six engine. The 4-cylinder is adequate but not exciting. The 6-cylinder is the one to get, with 190 horsepower and legendary durability. This engine traces its lineage back to the original Jeep engines and has proven itself over decades. The capability off-road is unmatched at this price point. The solid axles, front and rear, the available manual transmission, the high ground clearance, and the simple drivetrain all combine to create a vehicle that can go places most others can't. The removable doors and top give you an open-air experience that's unique and addictive. This is automotive freedom in its purest form. TJ Wranglers sell for $12,000 to $25,000, depending on condition, mileage, and configuration. The values have been climbing steadily, making them one of the few vehicles on this list that you could potentially sell for what you paid, or even more if you maintain them well. The Rubicon models command premium prices because of their enhanced off-road equipment, but even base sport models are tremendously capable with minor modifications. 2. Chevy Nova. Now we're going old school. The Chevrolet Nova from 1968 to 1979 represents classic American muscle car value that hasn't been inflated to collector car insanity yet. These cars flew under the radar compared to Camaros and Chevelles, which means you can still find decent examples at reasonable prices. We're talking about genuine vintage V8 power and style without the six-figure price tags. The Nova was essentially Chevrolet's compact car, but compact meant something different in the 1970s. These cars are substantial with room for passengers and cargo while maintaining a relatively manageable size. The styling is clean and classic without being overly flashy. They look good today without seeming dated or ridiculous like some muscle cars from the era. The beauty of the Nova platform is versatility. They came with everything from inline-six engines to massive V8s. And the aftermarket support means you can build one however you want. Want a cruiser? Install a mild small block with overdrive transmission. Want a street racer? The platform can handle serious power with appropriate modifications. The chassis is simple and well understood, making upgrades straightforward. Clean Novas sell for $12,000 to $30,000 depending on year, condition, engine, and originality. That's a lot of money compared to most cars on this list, but it's bargain pricing for a classic muscle car that you can actually drive and enjoy. Compare that to what people pay for Camaros or Mustangs from the same era, and the value becomes clear. 1. C5 Corvette. The C5 Corvette from 1997 to 2004 might be the best performance value in the entire automotive market right now. This generation transformed the Corvette from a car with a reputation for being fast in a straight line, but terrible around corners, into a genuine world-class sports car. The LS1 and later LS6 V8 engines are legendary. These all-aluminum small blocks produce between 345 and 405 horsepower depending on year and model, with smooth power delivery and a glorious exhaust note. But the real magic is the reliability. These engines are bulletproof, regularly exceeding 200,000 miles without major issues. You can buy C5 Corvettes for $12,000 to $25,000 right now, depending on mileage, condition, and whether it's a base model or Z06. Read that again. Genuine supercar-level performance for used Camry money. The interior quality improved throughout the C5's production run, with later models receiving better materials and design. According to various automotive reliability studies and owner surveys conducted over the years, the C5 Corvette consistently ranks among the most reliable sports cars of its era. The performance numbers still impress today. A base C5 runs 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds and tops out around 170 miles per hour. The Z06 is even quicker, hitting 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. Every single car on this list offers something special that the market has overlooked or undervalued. Whether you need reliable transportation, weekend fun, serious performance, or practical capability, there's a jackpot waiting for someone smart enough to recognize it. Which of these hidden gems matches what you actually need from a car rather than what advertising tells you to want? Let us know in the comments.